Hello my dear students, welcome to our online class. I am Anju Sharma, your English teacher. Today we are going to start our new chapter number 4. The name of the chapter is Meeting Miss Trotwood by Charles Dickens, which has been taken from your English Mulberry book. This video is for class 5, Meeting Miss Trotwood Part 1. Today I am going to teach you the summary of the chapter. This story is adapted from the famous novel David Copperfield by Charles Dickens. Charles Dickens was a well-known English writer like Shakespeare. David Copperfield was his favorite novel and David his favorite character. It is said that many things that happen in the book are based on his own life. For example, like David, he also had to quit school and work in a factory for some time. So, before we begin the summary of this chapter, let me introduce the characters of this story. The characters of this story are: number 1, the main character of the story is David Copperfield. Miss Betsy Trotwood, David's aunt. Number 3, Mr. Dick. He is one of the small character of this story. Next, number 4, Mr. Murdstone and his sister Miss Murdstone. Both are the villain of the story. Number 5, Wickfield, Mr. Wickfield. Mr. Wickfield. He was also a very nice character. And Agnes, his daughter. Mr. Wickfield's daughter, Agnes. She was also very bright and charming. Okay. The story of the chapter goes like this. The chapter Meeting Miss Trotwood has been taken from a novel, David Copperfield. After the death of his father, he lived happily with his mother. Then she married to Mr. Murdstone, who was very cruel, very unkind. His sister was also very unkind. After some time, David's mother passed away, and Mr. Murdstone and his sister continued ill-treated David. They did not send him to school. They made him to work in a factory. So, David went away from there and went to his only aunt, Miss Betsy Trotwood. It was the time of hot summer. His shoes were worn out and his hat was crushed. When he reached there, his shirt and trousers streamed with heat. Means it was very, very hot. His hair had no comb and he did not brush since he left London. In that situation, he made himself to introduce to his aunt. Okay? As his mother described about his aunt, so he quickly recognized her. But unfortunately, Miss Betsy did not recognize him and asked him to go. Then he told her that he was none other than his own nephew, David. Miss Betsy got shocked to see David in that condition. David informed her about his unhappiness and dissatisfied life after the death of his mother. She was shocked to hear that he was not sent to school. Just because of all these unkind acts, he had to run away. Miss Betsy took him to her home, and the first thing which she had done was to give him lots of tonics. Then she heated a bath for him. There was another old man who lived in Miss Betsy's cottage. His name was Mr. Dick. Miss Betsy gave him his clothes to wear. David was very much tired, so after bath he fell asleep on the sofa. That was the beginning of David's adoption by his aunt. Miss Betsy informed Mr. Murdstone about David. They came a few days later to take David, but Miss Betsy scolded both of them to treat so badly and their misbehavior towards David. There was another old man who lived in Miss Betsy's cottage. Who was that person? His name was Mr. Dick. Miss Betsy gave him his clothes to wear. David was very much tired, so after bath, he fell asleep on the sofa. That was the beginning of David's adoption by his aunt, Miss Betsy. Miss Betsy informed Mr. Murdstone about David. They came a few days later to take David. But Miss Trotwood, Miss Betsy scolded both of them to treat so badly and their misbehavior towards David. Miss Betsy asked David if he wanted to go back, but David was so depressed with them. He did not want to go with them, with Mr. Murdstone and his sister. So he said no to Mr. Murdstone. Miss Betsy took him in her custody and asked Mr. Murdstone to go back wherever he liked. After their departure, Mr. Betsy took him a new name with Trotwood Copperfield. That's the way he began his new life with his aunt. She went him to school at Canterbury. There she arranged his room with her old lawyer, Mr. Wickfield. As there in the school, no room was vacant there. Miss Betsy and David both were very happy at Mr. Wickfield's house. David met with his daughter Agnes, who was very beautiful. She was very beautiful, who was his own age and was bright. He felt happy and comfortable in school and found many friends slowly. Slowly, he forgot about everything that was happened to him. Then Miss Betsy left him and asked him to be kind enough and never to be mean. Before leaving, she gave him a big hug, and she felt very sad that time. She was very sad when she was going back. She advised Trotwood David. Now his new name is Trotwood David. David Copperfield. She advised Trotwood David never to be cruel and never to be false and mean. What? Never to be cruel and never to be false and mean. That was the meeting of David with his only aunt, Miss Trotwood, and how she has taken his custody. See, children, here in this story, Miss Trotwood was a good character. She was a good character. She was a strong character in the story. Remember, when David reached his aunt's house, she helped him a lot. David also faced so many problems on the way to his journey. But when he reached in his aunt's custody, he felt relaxed. When she recognized him, she heated a bath for him. After that, she gave him a shirt and trousers belonging to whom? Belonging to Mr. Dick. Mr. Dick was also a very nice person. Mr. Dick, a nice old man, and who lived in his aunt's cottage. Miss Trotwood was not only a strong person, but she was kind too. She was not only a strong person, but she was kind too. She showed her boldness when she called Mr. Murdstone and asked him after the refusal of David to go back whenever he liked. And after their departure, Miss Trotwood took David a new name. Miss Trotwood gave David a new name with Trotwood Copperfield, or David Trotwood, and he began a new life. So that was the meeting of David with his only aunt, Miss Betsy Trotwood, and how she has taken his custody. That's the end of the story. I hope, children, you have understood the summary of this chapter. The summary of the chapter, Miss Trotwood, very well. Okay, children. Now, children, there is a time for your assignment. Okay, children, we are ending up with today's class. So there is a time for your assignment. Your assignment is watch the video twice or thrice. Watch the video twice or thrice. Revise the summary thoroughly. Okay. Now, my dear students, there is a time for your assignment. Daily you are getting assignments. So there is a time for your assignment. Your first assignment is watch the video twice or thrice. Okay, children? Now this is very, very important. Watch the video twice or thrice. Your second assignment is revise the summary thoroughly. Listen to the summary thoroughly. Then only you can understand the chapter very well. So, revise the summary thoroughly. Listen to the summary thoroughly so that you can understand the chapter very well. Okay, children? Here are your two assignments. First is watch the video twice or thrice and revise the summary thoroughly. Okay? Thanks for watching till the end. Soon we will meet again in the next class. In our next class, Meeting Miss Trotwood Part 2. It was Meeting Miss Trotwood Part 1, and we will meet in another video class, Meeting Miss Trotwood Part 2. Okay, children, bye. Take care. Have a nice day.